everyone, I'm Samantha J, and this is Design Theory episode number 2. So today I'm going to be talking about what interior design is and the phases that go into an interior design project. So listen up. Okay, so what is interior design? Well, that depends on who you ask, but it definitely does not only consist of picking out fabrics and finishes and furniture and accessories and lighting for your home. There's so much more to it than that. That is pretty much just the decorating part of what we do. And so, yes, interior decorating and interior design are two different things that I will elaborate a little bit more on in another video. But for today, we'll just stick to what interior design is. So interior design is pretty much a practice that takes theories and studies on human behavior to create interior spaces that you can experience and that really have an impact on your life, whether you're noticing it or not. The space you're sitting in right now has an impact on you, and really buildings and whatever can really impact like your productivity levels, your mental health, your physical health, whatever it may be, depending on how well or poorly the space was designed. You'll either have improved levels or, the opposite. Like for example, there is this thing called sick building syndrome, and it's basically where people experience all of these health issues from being in the same building day to day. So it's not like you're just going to go into a building for 10 minutes and it's going to have this crazy effect on your health and productivity levels. But like if it's an office building that you work in, or if it's your house that you live in, I know like lack of natural light is a really big one. If you don't have a lot of natural light or greenery in your space, it can really infringe upon your mental health and your mood. So yeah, just to give you an idea of really how impactful the interior design of a space can be, and just kind of show you that what interior designers do and what interior design is affects you on a day-to-day basis. It affects everyone, really. So that's pretty much that. To sum it all up though, interior design of a space should really consider how the space is going to be used and how it's going to make people feel. Basically combining form and function, very, very commonly known. Form and follows function, right? So, interior design is a mood. Yes. When everyone posts it's a mood on their Instagram story, there's some interior design going with that mood, right? Maybe. Depending on the project, the mood could change too. So that's pretty much like what interior design is, and a little bit more, a little extra than probably what I needed to go into. But now let's talk about the 5 stages of an interior design project. So the first stage is going to be the programming stage. And in this stage, you'll meet with the client, get an idea of the scope of the project. You'll ask a series of questions. The client will have a series of notes and requests, and you'll hopefully go visit the site if it's not a new construction project. Even if it is, you can still go visit the site and do like some site studies, like where does the sun come up and where is it going to be hitting each room at different times of the day. Sun studies are very important in interior design. And so really just getting an idea of what the project's goal is and what your client's goal is for the project. And starting to develop that relationship with your client and getting to know them a little bit better and creating that trust and that make sure that you both are going to vibe well together throughout the entire project, because we don't really want anything any clashing really with the client, which can happen a lot. It's really difficult, but yeah, so get to know the client, get to know the goals of the project, and that's pretty much the programming stage. Take a lot of photos of the existing site, and that's it. Yeah. So then stage number 2 is the schematic or conceptual design phase, which is a really fun stage. This is where you let your creativity kind of bloom, which does not happen 100% of the time in interior design, by the way, because there are these small moments of creativity and then these big moments of documenting your creativity and getting it all drawn up and everything. So the schematic stage is a really fun one because you get to use your creativity and start to brainstorm and come up with ideas and concepts for the project. You can go online for inspiration pictures or look in magazines or wherever inspiration shows up for this project that you're working on. You can pull some color schemes together, some patterns, textures, different materials, and you can put them all out and see what works together, what doesn't work together. And in this stage you can make your mood boards, which I'm seeing all over Instagram lately are these mood boards, and we're even having clients make their own mood boards. So mood boards are a fun thing. It's kind of like creating, if you've ever done a vision board at the beginning of the year for what you want your year to be like. So I know you all know what I'm talking about with these mood boards. And like I said earlier, interior design is a mood. We are creating moods in spaces, right? And we are impacting everyone. So this is the stage where you set that mood, or you come up with 3 to 5 concepts, 3 to 5 different moods, and you really can start to come up with different floor plan options if you're doing renovation or whatever the case may be. Furniture layouts, you kind of just lay out a few options and you pull together your 3 to 5 schemes that go with it and in your mood boards. Recently, actually, I came up with 9 or 10 floor plan options for a client, and I feel like that can be a little bit overwhelming sometimes. So I really try to stick to 3 to 5, but when your creativity is going and you just finish a plan option and then you're oh, but this would be a really good idea too, let me draw that one, and then you don't want to stop. So you really sometimes you have to force yourself to stop and pick a stopping point. But so that's stage number 2. And then after that you get into the design development stage, and you so at this point you should have presented all of these 3 to 5 concepts to your client, and hopefully they have narrowed it down for you to 1 mood board and 1 floor plan. Sometimes it doesn't always get narrowed down immediately, but it's really good to push people to make decisions so that the project can keep moving, because design can never end. I mean, there is always something you can improve in design. So if the faster you can get people to make decisions, the better, the quicker the project will move, and kind of keep them hopefully from swaying one way or another, changing their mind too much. Everyone changes their mind, they go home, they think about it, they see something else that they like better. So it's really tough to keep people on track, but The more you practice, probably the better you'll get at it. So in stage 3, the design development stage, you've got all your clients' feedback on these 3 to 5 options that you've presented. So now you'll take that feedback and the floor plan that they selected, hopefully just one, and you'll develop more of the details and the design plan, so you can start to do some elevations, some maybe renderings, and start to make all the selections. So if you have like a list of, okay, we need a new flooring, a new cabinet, a new countertop, we need new tile, we need new plumbing, we need new lighting fixtures. So like make your list of what you need, and you can start kind of pulling options for all of these, and you can go out with your client to different showrooms in town, however you want to do it really. But so the design development stage, you're really just kind of trying to further detail and further specify what is going into the project. And so like hopefully they'll select, like if you send them 3 to 5 light options, hopefully they'll be like quick to pick one and not make you go back too many times and find something else. So anyways, after design development and all of the selections are made and everything's kind of finalized with the client, you'll start creating construction documents. That's stage number 4, construction documentation. It's all right. It's an okay stage. So you've identified all these specs and details for the project, and now you've got to make all these construction documents. You have to figure out a way to communicate your design and your ideas to whoever's going to be building them and creating them in real life, which would generally be a contractor. Should almost always be a contractor, really. So now you've got to figure out how to communicate everything to them. So now is when you're going to kind of start to dimension things, call things out on elevations, and make sure everything is labeled, so you can like look at the floor plan and you have an arrow pointing to this wall labeled A, and then you look at elevation A, so the contractor knows that this elevation is this wall in the room. And you would create things like paint schedules, finish schedules, tile drawings, just as much detail as you can fit onto these document pages, the better. There will always be questions, no matter how detailed and how well you do your construction documents. There will always be site visits after you hand these off. There will always be something that comes up, but the more detailed and the better that you can get these construction documents to be, really would be super helpful for you, for your time, for the contractor's time, really everything. So you're going to gather all your final bids, all your drawings with all of your dimensions and call outs, all of your specifications. Like if there's appliances and plumbing fixtures, you should really have like a book of spec sheets to give to the contractors, so that they can study how things need to be installed and what like electrical requirements there may be, and all of that fun stuff. So yes, stage 4, construction documentation. Get it all on paper. How do you want it built? And communicate that to the contractor. That's pretty much this stage. And so after that is all done and you've handed everything over to the contractor, you are now in stage 5, installation and execution of your project. So this stage might even be better than the concept stage where your creativity is flowing, because this stage you get to see all of that creativity come to life, and it's so much fun. I love seeing tile go into a house after I've selected and designed the tile layouts. That's probably my favorite part. But yeah, how exciting. You designed something, you put it on paper, and now you get to actually see it come to life and it becomes a real thing. And so that is a lot of fun. But there is a lot of management in this stage. You'll be visiting the site a lot, making sure that everything's getting done correctly and how you wanted it, up to your standards and the quality that you and your client are expecting. So you really need to have an open line of communication with the contractors and the installers on the job. So yeah, your presence is pretty important in this stage, and it's okay to let something get fully well, maybe not, depends on what it is, but you can like let an installation happen while you're not there, but then if you go and something has to be redone, that's not fun for anyone. That's a waste of time for everyone. So really good lines of communication and site visits are pretty important in this stage. Make sure every last detail is there and how you wanted it. And through all of that management, the project will come to an end, and you can show all of your beautiful hard work to the client in real life. It's probably a little nerve-wracking. Well, it is a little nerve-wracking. You're like, oh my gosh, I hope the client likes this. But honestly, though, a lot of clients are there throughout the execution of the project. They're kind of checking in on their own site, so they'll be seeing things along the way, and they'll have questions and this and that. And there will always be something that needs to be fixed on site, but when it's complete and you can walk in, it is the most rewarding thing when your design comes to life and it's done and it's beautiful and it's everything and more that you had thought it would be. So yeah, that's pretty much it. This brings you to the finish line, and then like let your client know that you're there for them and you'd be happy to help them in the future as their needs evolve, because you know this year this is probably what they need, but maybe in 10 years they might need something different. So it's always good to kind of end on a good note with your client, get a good review, and then kind of maintain that relationship if you can, and get repeat business. Yeah. So, all right, guys. So that's it. That's what interior design is, and all of the stages that go into it. If you didn't know, now you know. Interior design is a reputable, respectable profession, and it requires a lot of work. Don't confuse it with decorating. There is a lot of thought and research that go into interior design projects. So yeah, that's it for this week, guys. Please like and subscribe for more about interior design with design theory. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!